Gravedigger's Tyler Menninga has been the man to beat all season long, dominating racing, two-wheel skills, and freestyle. Can the black and green wrecking machine driver continue his triple threat dominance here in Providence? Menninga's continued rivalry with both Blake Granger and Caleb Blood has been front and center through the first 4 cities of the season. Will they prove themselves once again as formidable opponents? One thing is certain, it's a battle of wills here in Providence. Welcome to the Ocean State and the first of the original 13 colonies, Rhode Island. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Zombies Bari Musauer, and we'll be joined a bit later by Megan Lamani. We are coming to you from the Dunkin Donut Center here in Providence. And Bari, all season long, Tyler Menninga has been nothing short of brilliant. He continued his success here last night, winning by 9 points. But today, of course, a new day. And if you're one of the other 7 drivers out here, how do you approach this event?
You really just want to wipe the slate clean. You know, it's a new day, fresh start to a great Monster Jam Triple Threat Series show. And you really just want to run your own race, stay consistent. You can't really stop Tyler Menninga. You can only hope to contain him.
And we'll see who has the ability to do exactly that, Bari. As we said all season long, the Triple Threat Series is a bit different from our stadium counterparts. Some big differences, some little nuances. Explain how the events differ.
Well, Scott, this Triple Threat Series requires our drivers to not just compete in normal Monster Jam events like racing, the Skills Challenge, and even freestyle, but they also have to battle it out in a donut challenge and demonstrate fantastic off-road skills when they compete in the ATV racing and the Speedster obstacle course race.
Tonight's event showcases 6 individual competitions: Monster Energy Racing, UNOH ATV Racing, the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge, the original Super Glue Donut Competition, the Lucas Oil Speedster Obstacle Course, and everybody's favorite, the Bkt Freestyle Competition. The winner of each event is awarded a total of 8 points, with the top point earner being named tonight's overall event champion.
You know, Scott, one thing I want to touch on is consistency. That's the key for these drivers to really maintain a good finishing order. These points can swing from first to last in the blink of an eye, and you've really got to make sure you're on your game consistently to be able to maintain a good points lead to earn that overall event championship. You don't want to get left behind because it's really fun to win.
All right, let's take a look, Bari, at tonight's lineup for the Triple Threat Series East event. Who do you think has the best chance of standing in Tyler Menninga's way for an overall event win repeat?
Man, Blake Granger might be the one to do it here tonight, Scott.
Blake Granger, of course, the 2019 Monster Jam World Finals ATV champion. But before we kick off tonight's event, Bari, let's break down this incredible Triple Threat Series track.
Well, Scott, the Triple Threat Series East Championship competes on a more compact track layout featuring a single 8-sided pod. So these drivers have to be innovative, they got to be flexible while they're performing. For the monster truck racing, it's not only about speed, but finesse. You really want to make sure you do not hit one of those turning boxes because you'll automatically be disqualified. And in these small venues, threading the needle is key. I mean, let me tell you, Scott, being a driver on these Triple Threat Series events, the pressure to do that night in and night out, it's immense.
And here in Providence, the size of the track allows for Chicago-style racing, so these 12,000-pound trucks will get to chase each other around the track. Here's tonight's racing bracket with some exciting matchups. Which first-round matchup stands out to you, Bari?
That first one, man, the wife versus the husband. You know, Caleb versus Blake Granger. This is going to be an awesome show for sure.
You said it, husband versus wife. Here we go, Chicago-style racing around this track in Providence. And it looks like Caleb Blood with the advantage over her husband right now. Great turn there for Blake Granger, and he is going to end up finishing strong. So comes from behind and wins. Blake Granger advancing to the semifinals.
Yeah, he made a lot of ground up in that last turn. He really committed.
We have Joe Uri now. Armando Castro, Joe Uri, your teammate in Zombie Nation, gets sideways and cannot get it right. Man. Armando Castro is going to get an easy win moving on to the semifinal round. Great win for El Toro Loco. Armando Castro, so tough to beat. You can't make a mistake like Joe Uri did.
Yeah, one thing about this dirt here in Providence, it's very forgiving. As you can see, you can set up the turn really early, get the truck rotated, and Tyler's doing a great job, as you can see, versus Aaron Basil.
Tyler with a big lead right now. That shows Darren Basil can't get it right. Tyler Menega dominant here on the Triple Threat Series East, continues that domination. And our final round one matchup, Bari, Jack Brown, Bernard Light going at it off the line, equal, slowing down in the turn, getting a little caught up there in the ruts of the dirt, but Jack Brown not having it easy either.
Yeah, as you can see, this dirt is already starting to go away. In the very first round of racing, it's getting a little loamy out there, so that would be cool to see if these drivers can adapt, as you see Bernard taking the win there.
Bernard Light advancing behind the wheel of Alien Invasion. Our semifinals are set. Max D, Toro Loco, Gravedigger, and Alien Invasion. Two will advance into our final round. Who you got?
I got Max D versus Gravedigger. Let's see if Blake and Tyler can end up in the final round.
Armando Castro, Blake Granger off the line. Here we go. Great turn there from Max D. Driver Blake Granger. He's got some ground on Armando Castro, who's having some issues here. Can he win? And he is going to cross the finish line. So Armando Castro, all kinds of problems. Blake Granger made it look easy.
Yeah, Blake has got this track figured out. He's driving with a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum. I don't know if Tyler's able to match that yet, but we'll see. He's in the lead so far.
Tyler Menega trying to advance to the finals here again in Monster Energy Racing, and he is going to once again get to that final round. So a great win in Providence. The ruts are starting to add up out there. What are your thoughts here on the Providence track?
Well, I think this track is really tough to tame. I mean, in this part of the world, this part of the country, the dirt just doesn't want to pack. It's like it's got a lot of sand in the consistency of it, which makes it really tough on the dirt crew to pack it and have the dirt stay there. As you can see, there's a lot of roost flying off the tires. So this will be anybody's game, man. I'm excited to watch it.
Finals are set. Tyler Menega, Blake Granger. We all know the battles that Tom Mentz and Dennis Anderson had throughout the years, and tonight they continue with Max D and Gravedigger. Here we go, the matchup we've been waiting to see in the final round. Blake Granger a little sideways as they get through that first part of the race. Now Tyler Menega again with a great win. He's making it look so easy here tonight in Providence, as he's done all season long.
Yeah, Blake looked really strong early on, but it looked like he really lost his consistent edge right there against Tyler. And Tyler's in the winner's circle again.
Tyler setting the pace, getting the first 8 points of the 9. He'll still have to keep his wits about him to hold off the rest of the field. But Bari, what makes him so dangerous behind the wheel of a Monster Jam truck?
Tyler's just got this amazing will to win and the talent level to match, so it makes him really tough to beat.
Let's go down to the track as Megan Lamani has caught up with our racing winner.
Tyler, you won the racing competition yesterday, so right now you're 2 for 2. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know what? What a great bracket. This track right here is my baby, guys. I love slick dirt. The slicker, the better. And I'll tell you right now, this is some of the slickest stuff I've ever drove on. Bring it on, the rest of the drivers. That's all I got to say.
Tyler Menega feeling very confident tonight. Let's see how the rest of the drivers respond. ATV Racing is next. Monster Jam is brought to you by Great Clips, home of the online check-in app. Great Clips, it's going to be great. And by Spin Master, real trucks, real action, Monster Jam. Welcome back to the action here at Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence. It's now time for ATV Racing. For a breakdown on the competition, we head over to Megan.
Our Monster Jam athletes have transitioned from their Monster Jam trucks to their ATVs. This is a true test of their Monster Jam University, powered by UNOH. This is a true test of all that they've learned there. 4 athletes will race 4 laps in each heat, and their heat finishing order will determine where they start in our ATV finals.
Thank you, Megan. Let's go ahead and check out our heat brackets. Bar, you got a lot of experience in ATV racing. Talk about your preferred lane to start.
Anytime you can get that inside pole position right there up front, that's always a good starting spot because you can really just try and block everybody behind you.
In our first heat, Soldier Fortune's Caleb Blood has the extensive ATV racing experience and the inside lane. So if you're on the right, do you try to take her on the whole shot or patiently await your opportunity?
I think it's really about, if you see that opening, you have to take it. You got to be aggressive because you know Kayla's fast and she's already out to a good lead while these guys are bunched up behind her.
Caleb Blood making that experience pay off here right now. A great lead. We saw a bit of a pile up behind her on that turn, but she is rocking that awesome St. Jude ATV as well. You've been a St. Jude ambassador. That's got to be a cool feeling to have that on your vehicle.
Yes, and she's really going to press hard this weekend because this kicked off the actual St. Jude This Race Saves Lives auction. So there's a lot of pressure on her to do well. She's representing very good though so far.
Caleb Blood just making everybody just eat the dust here in Providence. You talk about the dirt piling up. Imagine being behind the ruts that Caleb Blood just laying into everybody. We get a great shot there of Joe Uri riding Zombie, but Caleb Blood just smooth sailing here on the final lap of ATV Racing Heat 1.
Yes, it might be in your best interest to kind of spread out because you are definitely eating dirt on this track. As Tyler Meninga mentioned earlier, there's some slick dirt. It's got a lot of loose sand in it. So, I mean, as you can see, Caleb takes the win there.
Checkered flag for Caleb Blood. Soldier Fortune, Zombie, Monster Mutt, Megalodon. That is the order of finish in ATV Racing Heat 1. We now move on to Heat number 2. And here are your two very, very established competitors. You have your world champion in Bkt Granger and Tyler Meninga, who's trying to put the moves on the outside right now.
Historically, these two guys that are in the back of the pack right now are really fast riders. So they're definitely going to push the issue. As you can see right now, they are not holding back one bit, and already Bkt is in the second place.
Now Bkt pushing his way through, trying to get the lead. Tyler Meninga had some problems. He's now in the back of the pack. Here comes Bkt on the inside, and an easy pass. Armando just looked at him and watched him go right by. Now Bkt Granger goes on the defense, zigzagging his way, blocking Armando Castro from passing him again on the inside. So defense sometimes the best offense in ATVs.
Yeah, for sure, especially on a track this treacherous. I mean, this dirt has got a lot of ruts in it already. It gets rough out there on those ATVs.
As we wait now for Tyler Meninga to possibly make a move, he is still back behind Bernard Light riding Alien Invasion. So lane choice, a factor here for your final round as the white flag comes out. Final lap, can Bkt Granger hang on? Armando Castro in second. There goes Bernard Light again. Oh man, so close to Tyler Meninga. I hope he's okay. Right now, we have that yellow flag. Bkt Granger watching. Here's a replay of that, just overextended the turn, and Tyler Meninga got out of his way.
Man, that was like split-second decision-making. Good job for Tyler to get out of the way. Looks like Bernard is all right.
Amidst all the excitement, Bkt Granger winning Heat number 2, checking on Bernard Light, making sure he's okay. And with our 2 preliminary heats over, it's time for the main event. Let's go over to Megan for the breakdown.
It's now time for our ATV Racing Finals, powered by UNOH, contested under our exciting black flag rules. All 8 of our athletes will start at the same time, and after 2 laps, that's when our black flag eliminations begin. The drivers and the athletes in 7th and 8th place will exit the track, and that will continue on until there are only 2 athletes remaining. Those 2 athletes will start back at the starting line, race a 2-lap race, and the winner of that will win 8 points towards their overall score.
Thank you, Megan. Our lineup will change a bit as Bernard Light, Alien Invasion, unable to compete. So we have 7 now. As she mentioned, black flag rules. The 2 will be eliminated after the first 2 laps. What kind of pressure are you feeling? Bkt Granger dominant again, takes the whole shot, but what kind of pressure are you feeling if you're in the back of the pack?
You really just try and move up one by one. Try not to get caught up in a big, tangled up mess, because there's a lot of ATVs in one area at the same time when you're back in the pack. As you can see, Bkt is kind of checked out though already, man. He's fast.
Barry, the story developing, Bernard Light took a hard fall on Alien Invasion, so he's unable to compete. How do you recover from something like that this early in the competition?
That's where the mental toughness part of this sport really comes into play. You have to kind of forget about it. Even though it's in the past, you really just want to focus on moving forward, gaining points in every competition here on a.
With the smaller lineup in ATVs, only 1 is eliminated. Megalodon out. Gravedigger also stuck around there with Megalodon. We'll see what happens there. But Max D, the story right now, Bkt Granger. So Monster Mutt, Gravedigger now eliminated. We're down to 4. Max D, Soldier Fortune, Zombie, El Toro Loco, Caleb Blood looking for an opportunity to pass her husband. Can't find it with a turn pulled down as well. How does that affect it when you have that wide open turn?
Well, I think she was just playing it cool. They are both into the final heat. Husband and wife matchup. This is always fun, Scott.
It's the married couple making it to the finals. Max D's Bkt Granger, Soldier Fortune's Caleb Blood. One thing is certain, we know they love each other, but they are super competitive with each other, and I would not want to face off with my wife in anything, so my heart goes out to Bkt Granger here, but who do you give the advantage to in the final?
You can't help but to think that Bkt definitely has the advantage, but he's also got that mind game going on, facing off with his wife, man. Anything can happen.
How much do you think he brags about that world championship to his wife?
I think it's only so far. You can only take that so far, because then you start to really feel the effects of it different ways being at home. You just never know what Kayla might have up her sleeve, though.
Blake Granger takes the inside position. Again, he gets so defensive with that zigzag. He's one of the best when it comes to the blocking, whether it's passing or defending that top spot. Now starting to put the distance between he and his wife, Kayla Blood. Can he hang on? Looking for the 8 points that come with this win. Around the turn they go. Max D's got it. Blake Granger looking good. Kayla Blood, look at the kisses being blown. So it's not enough to beat your wife. You have to rub it in by blowing her a kiss.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she's going to remember that in the coming competitions. I can't wait to see what's next.
Blake Granger gets the win and the 8 points, a great boost as Gravedigger did not have a strong finish. Megan is with Blake.
You're no stranger to the ATV competition because you are the 2019 ATV World Champion, but it's always so fun watching you go head-to-head against your wife. Tell me about that rivalry.
Man, it may be awesome that I won, but you got to give hats off to Kayla. She came out here and beat all those guys' butt. Let's make some noise for her.
Coming up next is the two-wheel skills competition. What can we expect from you in that competition?
Man, like I love to say, it might be a two-wheel skills challenge. I don't care if I put Max D on 1 wheel, 3 wheels, no wheels. Hell, we'll flip her upside down. I want you guys on your feet making some noise. Providence, let's go!
Well, Blake seems raring to go with that win, but he's left himself a little bit of a cushion, which he'll need as Gravedigger's now taken 11 out of the last 13 two-wheel skills competitions.
I like Blake's energy going into the rest of these competitions. I think he's ready.
Max D will do everything he can to keep his top spot as we head to our next competitions. The Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge and Donut Challenge are up next. Welcome back to the state capital, Providence, Rhode Island. And all of us at Monster Jam could not be more proud to be a partner with an extremely worthy cause, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. In an effort to combat childhood cancer, we invite you to join the movement. Text to donate right now. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 to donate and to save lives. The Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge puts our driver's skills to the test. Each driver has 2 attempts at their best two-wheel skill, or a lot of technique goes into this competition. And we're going to start it off here with your Zombie Nation teammate, Joe Uri. He comes off and gets a stoppy, almost a little popper.
Yeah, that was a great nose wheelie into a little moonwalk. He's got it in reverse. Great balance, man. Everybody wants to see the zombie arms hit the ground sometimes when we're doing that.
Great combo move. Then Armando Castro. And it's tough to call that a popper, not a lot of air. It's more of a stoppy. He does the same thing into a nose wheelie and attempting to back it up in a moonwalk over the ramp.
Yeah, this takes a lot of great throttle control, as well as he's hitting a button inside the cab to blow that El Toro Loco smoke. Man, he backed it all the way across the pod. That's awesome.
Blake Granger and Maxie. Now there is a popper, a big popper. He lands it right on the front 2 tires. Got a nose wheelie across the pod, then a moonwalk back over the pod again. Actually just stops it right there. I love the technique, the precision, and the skill to keep Max D upright.
Now, I've seen this 100 times, and it doesn't matter. It's still so amazing to see that these Monster Jam trucks are capable of balancing like this. It takes a true driver to be able to do that.
Tyler Menega has been dominating the Two-Wheel Skills Challenge. Tonight was no different, putting him right back on top. You know, when you look at the moonwalks, how tough is it to get it up over the ramp?
It's tough. Your timing has to be right on time, and you really have to catch the truck at the right moment to gather that balance point that is so important. As you can see, Tyler is just standing still, playing with the shifter, going back and forth, sets it down. He knows he's in a good position there.
Tyler Menega winning his 12th out of 14 when it comes to the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge. Great night so far here for him at the Dunkin Donuts Center. We're going to take a look right now where the field placed Gravedigger back on top of the leaderboard with his 2nd win of the night. Megan once again standing by with Tyler.
Coming up next is the donut competition, and you and I were talking about the dirt a little bit earlier. Now, explain to me how that's going to affect the donut competition.
So actually, donuts, it's going to get down to the concrete right here. So you're probably going to see some pretty good cyclones out here. The dirt's, it's really fine. It doesn't pack together very good. So the first truck comes out, leaves a nice concrete area right there. You're going to watch that Gravedigger spin and spin and spin. Who's ready for some donuts? Woo!
Blake Granger making a cameo appearance in that interview. Everybody ready for the next competition, the fan favorite Super Glue Donut Challenge. Now these donuts are about speed, control, and wow factor. And here's a recap of the top performers in tonight's Donut Challenge. Armando Castro kicking us off in El Toro Loco. Third place for him. Great donut, everything you want.
Wow, instantly he went down to the concrete. Just goes to show this dirt here in Providence, as Tyler explained earlier, it's very fine, doesn't pack well, makes for great surface for donuts.
And Tyler would be right about watching Gravedigger spin and spin, but it would only get him second place as Kayla Blood and Soldier Fortune mastered the whirlwinds and took the win.
That's amazing. I think she's really the one that's probably one of the first ones to break down to the concrete, really got that Soldier Fortune truck spinning fast.
And the importance of the donut challenge in the donut center bar, we don't want to lose sight in that. We can't say that very often on the show, but with that win, Kayla takes home 8 points, and her husband took a big stumble in this competition with last place. That's going to hurt him in the overall standings, but we're going to take a look. He did start off the night with that big ATV win, so your overall point standings here, Tyler Menega jumping to the front with that 4-point lead over Blake Granger.
Kayla Blood made a lot of ground up there, and these top 4 competitors, it's still anybody's game when you're talking about those 4, so it'll be exciting to see the conclusion of today's triple threat event.
Another driver always looking to shake things up brings us to this week's Monster Energy Action of the Week. And we go to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, and it is Cole Vennard walking the plank in the Black Pearl.
Whoa, that's a wild ride, and he had the presence of mind to hit the throttle at the right moment to bring those tires in contact with the dirt and gain traction to pull that Black Pearl Monster Jam truck back on all 4 tires. Amazing job.
Great save there for Cole Vennard. And that's the Monster Energy Action of the Week. But now we're going to take you right back to Providence. Will Tyler Menega begin to run away with another competition? Or can Blake Granger shake off 2 disappointing finishes? We're going to find out as the Speedster Obstacle Course is next. Welcome inside Monster Jam World Headquarters. I'm Scott Jordan with another Monster Jam news update. We continue our 3-part series on Bryce Kenny's quest to set a new Guinness World Record title for breaking the 100-mile-per-hour barrier in his Great Clips Mohawk Warrior Monster Jam truck. Now, we've heard Kenny's long family history in the top fuel racing and the science behind the stunt, so the only question that remains is, will Bryce etch his name in the record books?
There's never been a Monster Jam truck that has hit triple digits in speed. We are about to attempt to break the Guinness World Record for speed in a monster truck.
Here we have a good test right lane. Okay, here we go, speed record attempt.
What did he do? Did it hit 100? What did he do? 100.3. Man, I'm so pumped. We came out here in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior and we just set a Guinness World Record and the first ever monster truck to go 100 miles an hour. We got a lot more aggressive today. The air out here is hot. I didn't feel a single vibration much, and then as soon as we got about 1,000 feet going through that speed trap, my eyeballs were shaking all over the place. It was awesome. What an experience, what an honor. I'm so pumped.
Congratulations to Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior team. They all worked so diligently together to successfully set a new Guinness World Record title, breaking the 100-mile-per-hour barrier in a Monster Jam truck. Well, that's going to do it for this Monster Jam update. We now head back out to Providence, Rhode Island for the conclusion of our Triple Threat Series East event from earlier this season. Welcome back to the second half of Monster Jam here at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm Scott Jordan alongside the leader of Zombie Nation, Barry Musauer, and Megan Lamonti on the ground. And it's time for the Lucas Oil Speedster Obstacle Course. Our athletes will race these speedsters through the course featuring 5 turns and 3 jumps. The track has been designed to challenge these machines' handling, agility, and speed. Drivers will be immediately disqualified if they hit a turn pole, so a driver's skill is also put to the test. This competition is aggressive and unforgiving as our drivers will bump, bang, and pass one another to claim the event points towards the overall event championship. Here's tonight's Speedster Racing bracket. Megalodon took last night's Speedster competition, but starts against Gravedigger, Bari, Tyler Menega, all the momentum. So who do you favor in this matchup?
It's hard to bet against Tyler when you're talking about these speedsters, especially in the judging the consistency of the dirt here in Providence. He's a master at controlling that speedster on loose tracks like this.
Joe Uri, Bernard Light, our first round one matchup. Up the pod they go. Bernard Light trying to get inside. Joe Uri not gonna let him. Here we go around that first turn. And it is Joe Uri with a great first turn in Zombie.
All right, Joe, let's keep it up. The Zombie fans, they got the zombie arms waving. They really want you to pull off this win. Bernard is right there, though.
I think you jinxed him because Bernard Light, and now there he goes back in front. So a great reactionary move to get the lead back for Joe Uri. He is looking good. Bernard Light making another pass to try to get to him. And here comes Joe Uri, and there is your winner. So a great race from start to finish. Had the lead, lost it, takes it back, and staves off Bernard Light. Here comes Tyler Menega and Jack Brown. Brown up on the pod first, taking that inside lane away from Tyler Menega.
Wow, Jack Brown's got that Megalodon speedster really moving. He's kind of checked out on Tyler, but
oh, there is a turn, a rollover for Tyler Menega, and Jack Brown is going to win this race, but Tyler Menega, a stunning turn of events here for Tyler Menega, so that's going to cost him the points. Remember, he is your current overall event leader, and Jack Brown going to take this turn nice and slow and get across the finish line, so Megalodon going to advance into the next round.
Very uncharacteristic, especially on this dirt. As you can see, it's very loose. Tyler just caught an edge, and yeah, that was it, man. There was no saving that one.
So our crew getting Tyler Menega's Gravedigger back up on all four tires. Now we move on to our next matchup. Aaron Basil, Monster Mutt, Caleb Blood, and Soldier Fortune. One advances to our semifinal round. Caleb Blood now off the starting line, up onto the pod. And a nice bump there from Aaron Basil, but it does not face Caleb Blood. Aaron Basil, great move on the inside, and Caleb Blood giving him everything she has, but Aaron Basil getting out in front. Caleb Blood taking the inside again. Wow, Bari.
This is a great race so far. There's no inch being given. Oh, and Aaron just made a slight mistake there, got up on two wheels, lost all his momentum, handed the lead over to Caleb.
Such a close race until that mistake from Aaron Basil. You talk about not giving an inch. He gave her about two there, and she took advantage of it. So Caleb Blood gets Soldier Fortune into the semifinal round. And here is our 2019 World Finals Speedster Racing Champion, Armando Castro, up against Blake Granger.
This will be interesting because both of these guys are very aggressive behind the wheel of these speedsters. As you can see, Blake's out to an early lead. I bet you Armando is not going to give him any room, though, coming off this pod.
Great treat for the fans here in Providence. A matchup between two current reigning World Finals champions. Blake Granger giving Armando Castro everything he's got. And El Toro Loco clips the tires of Max D, going to end up on the roof. And that is going to be a clear shot to the finish line for Blake Granger.
Yeah, Armando rolled the dice. This is what you have to do in these speedsters. Didn't pay off for him in that race, but he'll come back another day.
That front right tire of Armando Castro's clipping the back tire of Blake Granger. With round one in the books, the semifinal bracket is set. Soldier Fortune's Caleb Blood and Max D's Blake Granger once again find themselves going head-to-head. Blake has 6 speedster wins so far this season to Kayla's 3. Who has the advantage?
Oh, man, I'm really pulling for my zombie teammate, Joe Uri. But Jack Brown and Megalodon really had a great run in the first round. Let's see if he can carry that momentum on.
Jack Brown, Megalodon lining up Joe Uri, Zombie in our first semifinal matchup. Here we go. They have gone green up on the pod. Joe Uri and Zombie trying to take the lane away, but it's Jack Brown who's had 2 great starts now to his races.
Yeah, he just bogarted his way right into the lead, and now Joe's got to play catch-up. We'll see if Jack Brown can maintain that lead and really just not make any mistakes heading on to, hopefully he can find himself back into the finals again tonight.
On the other side of the track, Jack Brown trying to finish strong. Joe Uri still playing catch-up. Final turn here for Jack Brown in Megalodon. Straightens it up and on to the pod he goes. There is our first finalist in Speedster Obstacle Course Racing. Jack Brown, Megalodon advancing. Now Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune, Blake Granger, Max D. Our second battle between husband and wife. And Caleb Blood able to fend off her husband, getting that block on him, and she's now out front.
This has got to be payback from earlier tonight when he taunted his wife by blowing those kisses as he crossed the finish line first in the ATV heat. Man, he's got a lot of catching up to do now.
There is no greater obstacle than a woman scorned. As you said, she may have taken offense to those blown kisses, and now she is making her husband pay for it. As Kayla Blood and Soldier Fortune now up over the pod and across the finish line, she will advance to our finals. Megalodon's Jack Brown, for the second night in a row, finds himself in the finals, but it is Kayla Blood who, with the win, could overtake Tyler and Blake in the quest for the overall event championship.
Wow, you know she's going to be pushing hard in this final round to gain those very urgent points that she's going to need to fight for the overall event championship.
We mentioned the starts for Jack Brown. Kayla Blood fending it off, and Jack Brown into the turn pole in Megalodon. So Kayla Blood now going to take advantage. She is not letting off at all. She is going to try to win this one easily. Can she run mistake-free here?
Wow, that was amazing there, because I really thought for a second Jack Brown's got this track figured out. He was probably the fastest one around the track all night, and just a small mistake hands Kayla the win right here.
He tried to get the pass on her up over the pod. She blocked it, sending him into a downward spiral. So Kayla Blood now receives her second win of the night. However, Bari, it's her consistency finishing each event near the top that has allowed her to surpass her husband, Blake Granger, and now Gravedigger's Tyler Menega for the overall event championship. As we take a look at the leaderboard, Kayla Blood, great win. A lot on the line for her. She came out, did what she had to do, and now a 1-point lead over Tyler Menega.
Yeah, Kayla's a fighter. She's never going to give up. She's never going to lay down and, accept defeat, which finds her on top of the leaderboard going into freestyle. Man, this is going to be an exciting finish.
Tyler Menega's quick exit in speedsters, Blake's bottom finish in donuts could be the difference in the event, but with one competition remaining, it's not over. Bkt Freestyle is next. Monster Jam trucks are driven to their limits every event, from racing to freestyle. One component of Monster Jam's continued growth and success are the 4 Bkt tires they're rolling on. They help our trucks do what they do and keep going no matter what our Monster Jam drivers throw at them. Monster Jam and Bkt growing together. We are back at the Dunkin' Donuts Center, and it's time to leave the game plans in the locker room. That's right, time to lay it all out, and potentially truck body parts to boot. This is Bkt Monster Jam Freestyle. It's time for everyone's favorite Monster Jam event, Freestyle. This is how the event is scored. Each of our drivers will attempt a freestyle run filled with non-stop action, flow, and precision control, like this expert run by Blake Granger and Max D. Momentum, a perfect example of this is this incredible save from Bari Musauer in Zombie, and those special wow moments like this crazy stoppy save from Matt Cody in Blue Thunder. All drivers are pushing their Monster Jam trucks to its limits. Each driver is awarded a score by you, the audience. Fans in attendance at our Monster Jam events provide each driver a score immediately following their run. Fans judge our drivers based on a number of elements, including creativity and technical moves, as you see El Toro Loco taking this wheelie all the way across the pod, bringing it back down to the other side into a nose wheelie, and combination moves like that and this backflip into a moonwalk by Gravedigger. You're also looking for the all-important wow factor, such as this big air from Zombie. However, to qualify for a score, drivers must complete the first 20 seconds of their run. Bernard Light in Alien Invasion, Bari had to recover from a near disaster, falling off the ATV earlier tonight and made it back. Now a lot of this is about pride and finishing strong.
Absolutely. You have to put that behind you. Bernard's a tough guy. He's in shape. He's mentally tough, so he's going to put Alien Invasion through the paces. He's got to set the tone here in Providence. He's first out. Let's see what he can do here tonight.
And for our fans that may have only seen a stadium event in this show, not a lot of obstacles to hit here in an arena show. You have an 8-sided pod, you have the 8-pack backflip ramp, so you got to get creative in an arena freestyle.
I like to say you have to make every hit count. You can't just drive over a jump. You really have to make it count, just like that big sky wheelie from Bernard. Excellent positioning there. He's got a good rhythm going.
The 8-pack backflip, one of the most exciting moves in all of Monster
Nice.
Jam. Some great air for Bernard Light and Alien Invasion. Slap wheelie on the way down. I love the 8-pack because it literally comes out of nowhere. So a great move for these fans. If you're looking for that wow factor, you might see it. Cross-threading for Bernard Light. He's going to try to save it. and unable to do so, but a decent run to start us off here in freestyle.
Wow, that was uncharacteristic. He hit that jump with the rear steer turned, which caused the truck to jump crooked like that. It was the first time I think I've seen him do that. I'm sure he learned from that experience.
He could have made that save. He might have found himself with a higher score in the 9s. Here is Jack Brown in Megalodon. He has had a strong night, finishing as a runner-up in 2 competitions. So there's that saying, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. What's going to get Jack Brown to the top of the freestyle mountain here tonight?
Well, Jack Brown's really in a cool truck. Megalodon is one of the most fan-favorite trucks to this date in Monster Jam. So he's out there strutting his stuff. The Shark looks great. I think Jack is up to the challenge tonight.
Jack Brown spinning Megalodon back around on the deep side of the track. Here he comes back now over the pod. Nice air on the sky wheelie. Doesn't get the slap wheelie on the way down. Going to come back for more. A lot of space there, Bari, to possibly do some donuts here in an arena freestyle.
Yeah, that's something. Even though we have a donut competition, fans still love to see donuts. If you can really get one in rhythm while you're freestyling, it just acts as like a seamless move. And it's loud, you know, you can hear the horsepower of the motor, which the fans always love.
Megalodon now coming back around, cross-threading up on the opposite side of the track, trying to get it going here. Jack Brown looking for that wow moment. He's capable of it. We'll see what he's got in store here. Again, over the pod on the other side. Just seems to be trying to get some big air onto the center and bring it back down around. Here's a donut maybe. No, just came up a little short there. Thought he was going to rev that up.
Yeah, the Megalodon truck looks like it's working great, as Jack Brown is really doing a great job. A textbook freestyle from him.
And that'll complete the run for Jack Brown in Megalodon. Not quite enough to grab the lead away from Bernard Light in Alien Invasion. Here is Zombie Nation with Joe Uri. There's a big end over end jump, gets the bounce.
That was a tough landing there. Looks like Zombie survived though, and Joe is gonna continue to put this 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck that we call Zombie through the paces. I love the Zombie arms waving.
And Joe Uri, one of many drivers in Monster Jam, trained by the professor of Monster Jam University, Tom Metz. So when you learn from a 12-time World Finals champion, that gives you the best teaching of anywhere available when it comes to driving a Monster Jam truck.
For sure, Tom's been around this sport for a long time, and he's got so much knowledge. Just the wealth of knowledge that he has to share with these new and upcoming Monster Jam drivers, it's worth its weight in gold. And it really shows true when Joe is on the track. You can tell he's taken that advice. He's learned a lot. And he's got the Zombie arms waving tonight.
So Joe Uri in Zombie, the fans on their feet. He's going to jump up now into second place. And we move on to the 2019 Monster Jam World Finals ATV champion, Bkt Granger and Max D. A great move there. Almost looked like he was going to head over, saves it, and now it's coming back for more. There's a good-looking jump from Max D.
You know, when I think about Bkt behind the wheel of Max D, one word comes to mind, and that's aggression. He drives that truck like he's just angry. I mean, he whips it around. He can use every inch of the arena floor to bring the fans to their feet. He's got a great run going so far.
Getting back up over on the back 2 wheels is Bkt Granger in Max D. Some dirt running up now over the containers. Gets a clear shot at that ramp and clears the pod. In 2017, Bkt Granger sat in for Colton Eichelberger for an event in Max D, foreshadowing his future now as part of the Max D family. Little rough landing there, couldn't quite get over.
Yeah, and I was there for that event, and I could tell then Bkt really had the prowess to be a Max D driver. He said from the get-go Max D was always his favorite truck. What a dream come true to actually be piloting the truck, and he's doing it at a high level.
Whoa. And look at the save for Bkt Granger. Almost made it again. Can he save it? This is unbelievable.
Wow. You can't help to think, you see that skid mark on the concrete, that really helped him to be able to save that truck. And what an awesome move. You definitely can't plan that.
The original Superglue replay shows us Max D on the roof of the truck. Looks like he was done. Bkt Granger able to get it back over. And there's your new freestyle leader. But now we take a look at our BKT top 5 overall leaderboard. And with that freestyle run, Max D could complete the comeback of the series. But is it enough to hold off Soldier Fortune and Gravedigger? We'll see if Kayla and Tyler have what it takes when we come back. The conclusion of freestyle is next. Monster Jam is brought to you by Great Clips, home of the online check-in app. Great Clips, it's going to be great. And by Spin Master, real trucks, real action, Monster Jam. Welcome back to Monster Jam Freestyle. We pick it back up with Armando Castro in El Toro Loco from Providence, Rhode Island, the Dunkin Donuts Center. What do you expect from Armando in this run?
Well, Armando has the tough task of following Blake Granger's awesome move to conclude his freestyle. So he's really going to have to match that energy, or better yet, top it, because the fans are already buzzing off that. So he's going to have to do something cool. Great jump there, though.
There's something cool from Armando Castro. Looks like we got some locked up issues going on in the rear, trying to get it straightened out. Here comes El Toro Loco. Great sky wheelie. Look at that jump landing on the side. Almost had an opportunity for a bicycle save. Couldn't land it. And Armando Castro, piloting El Toro Loco, will finish currently in 3rd place. There's the original Superglue replay. Just couldn't get the landing on this.
Yeah, tough break there. I mean, those are the positions that you have to put the truck in to be able to, get yourself in a position to save it. And it just didn't work out there for Armando.
Aaron Basil now in Monster Mod, trying to get a strong finish here for him. The score to beat Blake Granger Max D 8.919. Monster Mod now up on top of the pod again, coming back down the other side. When you have no shot at winning the overall event championship, what does that do to you as a driver, knowing that all eyes are pretty much on the competitors coming after you?
It's okay because, Monster Mutt is one of the most recognizable Monster Jam trucks still to this day. It's been around a long time, just like the driver piloting the truck. Aaron Basil, he knows exactly what the fans want to see. And that's great air, just like that last jump he did. But the ears are flopping, the tail's wagging, the Monster Mutt fans are still having a good time.
Now, Charlie Pauken won a World Finals Freestyle Championship in Monster Mutt, so this truck, it has that pedigree. Now, Aaron Basil, you can never underestimate him. As you said, he's been around for a long time. He's driven for some of the big names in the sport now with J.R. McNeil and Raising Cane Monster Truck. So Aaron Basil has a chance to play spoiler, if you want to talk about that term. He could play spoiler to one of the other competitors by getting more freestyle points. And there's that donut that we talked about on the far side of the track.
Yes, he worked it in, and that dirt is really so fine. You can just see it flying everywhere. It's a cool visual effect to be able to pull off in front of a live, really packed house here in the Dunkin Donuts Center.
Aaron Basil, still some time left on the clock, getting Monster Mutt back now over the pod and to the other side. And that's it, no wow factor at the end of that run. Decent run, consistent. And we take a look once again at the BKT overall point standings. Only 2 competitors left. Kayla is in the lead. She's going to need to put her best run out there and hope it's enough to hold Gravedigger off.
Yeah, there's no pressure. And when I say that, I mean there's a ton of pressure. But Kayla's up to the challenge. She starts to announce her presence right there, just reminiscent to what Blake started his run as. He started that same jump. So let's see if she can have this great momentum to carry through.
Whoa. Great save there for Kayla Blood. Almost tipped it over. In the battle, a husband and wife tonight, they've gone head-to-head twice. They are 1 each, so this is almost a rubber match. She has a chance to take a freestyle win away from her husband, knock him out of the event championship, or it could go the other way. There's a great donut on the move, almost a rotating donut for Kayla Blood. It could go the other way, and Blake Granger could walk out of this thing with it all.
I love this storyline. It's 2 fierce competitors that happen to be husband and wife, so right there, that's a great story in itself. And they really battle it out. I mean, they don't give each other an inch, so it'll be really exciting to see what Kayla comes up with.
And you can't take anything away from Gravedigger, who's sitting and waiting. Look at that move, a wheelie down the pod on one wheel, and she lands it. Great move for Kayla Blood. That could save her run tonight. And there's another rotating donut.
That was great composure to be able to realize the truck just needed to settle down. She didn't hit the throttle, she didn't hit the brakes, she just rode it out, and it paid off for her.
Now she loves hitting the 8-pack backflip. She landed almost right in front of it, but avoided. Was that because she didn't have momentum?
Yeah, that could very well be the case. You definitely have to set those backflips up. You don't want to approach them where you feel like you can't do it right.
Will that come into play? She's on the wrong side of the track, as revving it up to get the fans going, and that is going to do it for Kayla Blood in Soldier Fortune. We take a look now at the original Superglue replay. 2nd place finish for Soldier Fortune. The question, will it be enough to hold on to 1st place standing in the quest for the overall event championship? This man could have a lot to do with that. Let me ask you this, Bari, not that he needs it, but there's always that Gravedigger sort of fan influence that everybody that may not know Monster Jam or Monster Trucks knows Gravedigger. Could that come into play tonight in Tyler's quest for the event championship?
It's possible, but that's why Gravedigger has some of the best drivers in the sport. I mean, Tyler would probably excel no matter which truck he drove. And it just so happens he's in one of the most popular Monster Jam trucks that ever exist in Gravedigger. So they chose him for a reason, and he gets the job done every night, no matter what. And it's really awesome just to sit back even as a fan for myself, just to watch him drive.
He does not have to win freestyle to win the event championship, just second place. This could do it for him. There's the 8-pack the first time tonight, and he lands it.
Wow, the crowd's going nuts. I mean, that was really cool. I think the crowd was really waiting for that. Into an amazing stoppy moonwalk. Man, I think this is probably going to seal the deal. Kayla left a lot of points there on the line, and it opened the door wide for Tyler and Gravedigger.
Great save for Tyler Mediga. You were waiting for that to happen, and there's another attempt at a save for him. Cannot land that one. Will it be enough to take the event championship? And there is your new freestyle leader as we take a look at the original Super Glue glued to the action replay. A great 8-pack backflip, a great freestyle win, and that will propel him now to the event championship. Let's take a look at the overall point standings on the BKT leaderboard. His second overall win here in Providence, third win tonight, narrowly beating Soldier Fortune's Caleb Blood, who gave him a run for his money until the last run.
Wow, what a treat for these fans here in Providence. I mean, 1 point for the victory. Came down to the last freestyle run. Amazing night for Tyler.
It did come down to the wire here in Providence. For the most part, a 3-driver race to the finish, trading points towards the overall event championship. Caleb Blood was consistent all night long at the top of the leaderboard, but a late surge from Tyler Mediga gives him the freestyle win and the event championship. For Bari Musauer and Megan Lamani, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for watching Monster Jam.